can just learn a single trick, Scout, you get along a lot better with all kinds of folks. You never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view.
Sir?
Till you climb inside of his skin, walk around.
It is as if Harper Lee knew what my life would look like when she created Scout Finch in To Kill a Mockingbird. Scout's life as a little girl raised in South Alabama was very close to my own. I was raised with an older brother who was sometimes annoying and always my best friend, a father who had a straight moral compass, and like Scout's Aunt Alexandria, I had a mother who raised me, despite my own wants to be a tomboy, to understand and accept the traditions, manners, and responsibilities of being a Southern belle. I was born into a wonderful family, blessed with a mother and father who read to us continuously from birth. My mother says that when I was small, I would carry around my favorite book, usually Martha's House, and tell everyone that I could read it all by myself. As I grew, I was fascinated by books, asking my mother to take us to the library, reading Babysitter's Club or The Boxcar Children for hours or even days in the summers when I was out of school. Stories would come alive, and I would imagine that I was the main character, being whisked away for adventures in distant times and places. I could see and feel what the main character felt. I would climb into an old tree in our backyard to read, putting aside my adventures only when the sun had sunk so low that the pages were no longer readable. I was wrapped in a protective bubble, secure in the beliefs that my parents and culture had instilled in me. I believed everyone was happy and life was always good. It was in this innocent and naive cocoon that I lived, like Scout Finch, until something challenged my beliefs about the world and its inhabitants. In my case, my teachers read books like the Dear America series, Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry, and Walk Two Moons, stories that opened my eyes to lifestyles and beliefs very different from my own. It was through these books that I confronted issues like racism, poverty, and heartache. What I discovered is that no matter how different the character's life appeared to be from my own, there were many things that we shared. I craved these books, their stories creating large cracks in my warm and secure cocoon. All cocoons eventually open to release a transformed butterfly. Like a butterfly, I became free to believe and think as I wanted, not just as I had been taught or the traditions that I had been immersed in. It was at that point in my life that a tragic and earth-shattering day reminded us all of the fragility of life and the costs of our freedoms. I became inspired to read history and civics books, determined to discover more about my country. I learned about the Constitution, my own Bill of Rights, and my responsibility as a citizen of the United States to stay informed and educated about current events. This was a turning point in my life. I had never really understood patriotism or citizenship, but I came to appreciate my country and my rights in a major way. When I arrived at Lee University in 2008, I was surprised to find that I could no longer get through my classes without reading textbooks. I hated reading textbooks, unless it was a history book, and throughout my middle and high school career, my teachers had valued them much more than I had. I soon realized that I would be dependent on these books to do well in my classes. It was in these textbooks, however, that I was truly challenged once again. I started to see new concepts, philosophies, and principles. My own beliefs were tested and sharpened through hours of pouring into books about theology, psychology, modern culture, and ethics. It was as if I had emerged yet again from another cocoon, becoming a stronger woman of steady convictions, full of knowledge and ready to take on the world. My life would not be the same without written word. I continue to be challenged every time I pick up a book and read, whether it's a work of historical fiction by Lori Wick or Francine Rivers, my Bible, or a textbook on reading skills. I believe that through these challenges, I become a more compassionate, educated, and strong woman of faith and purpose. I hope to instill my passion for reading into my students now and throughout my career as an educator, by challenging them to think from another person's point of view, or as Atticus Finch said, to climb into a man's skin and walk around in it. Reading opens the door for us to experience things from others' point of view, and it is only then that we will truly become an educated, free people who will work together for a better future.